Yo, I'm out here at the mining farm. Just got a new mining rig, the Canaan Avalonminer 1346. This is my first Avalon miner of the 1300 series. I'm pretty excited to expand my Bitcoin mining hash rate. So I've already got it thrown up, which, by the way, my name is Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. That's the mining shed I've been building, but I did put the mining shed on hold because I was able to secure a digital shovel mini pod. So let me just take you in real quick. I've already got the Avalon miner set up. Sorry, it's a little bit loud in here because we're doing something called mining. But I have the Avalon miner tucked right in there, and I already got it hashing away. Which, by the way, thank you so much to Digital Shovel for designing a 208, which is basically a mini pod, Bitcoin mining pod like this that can be configured with single phase electricity, because I'm working with my electric company to bring 3-phase out here to the sticks. But until I can do that, all I've got is single phase electricity. So with that, I was able to deploy a plug and play mining farm, which I'm pretty excited about. But today I want to focus on that miner in particular. I'm going to be showing you how this miner works, if it's worth it, how much it costs, how much money it makes, and more importantly, how much Bitcoin we're mining with it. It's been a while since we reviewed a Canaan Avalon miner. Bitcoin SHA-256, which is the Bitcoin mining algorithm, ASIC miner, a custom computer purpose-built just for Bitcoin mining. Canaan has many models, much like Bitmain, of similar performance. For example, we look at the 1346, which is the model we're focused on here. There is a difference between the 110 terahash a second version, which is what we have, the 104, the 107, the 113, and the 120. There is also a newer version of this, the 1366, which hashes at 130 terahash a second, consuming 3,250 watts. You see, these Bitcoin miners will cost you somewhere from $1,300 to $1,700. And you can even step back an entire generation and go to the 1200 series and buy a Bitcoin miner for less than $1,000. One thing in particular I really do like about Canaan's web shop is the fact that they make it easy to source their power supplies and even buy a bulk 8-pack. Many moons ago, I had the 900 series, I think, and that had the separate controller and it looked more like an Antminer S9. A couple years ago, they sent me, I believe it was the 1046 to review. And while I did place this order for this miner from their web shop, they did compensate us the miner's price for the review, full disclosure there. But I did have the full experience of going on their web shop, ordering the miner, and I did check out with Bitcoin, which is pretty therapeutic to buy a Bitcoin miner with Bitcoin. Once I paid hundreds of dollars for shipping, I was pretty disappointed. A $1,540 miner quickly turned into almost a $2,000 order. But one thing that you want to be very aware of, especially if you're in the United States when it comes to buying Canaan miners, is checking their in-stock at Texas warehouse. This will allow you to buy miners in the States, so you will not have an expensive shipping charge, and you will not be subject to tariffs. Because in addition to a $1,600 miner turning quickly into $2,000, I'm also going to be hit with a tariffs fee, which that's like another 30%. So it can add up quickly. The good news is dealing direct from the manufacturer is that you know it's good, you know it's new. Canaan also boasts that you will have a 360-day warranty, and when you do buy from the official manufacturer, you have that warranty. They specifically state if you buy it anywhere else, then that's basically not their problem. Based on mining profitability calculators, and we're going to run through the real-world mining profitability later in this video, this is supposed to make $13.50 a day in Bitcoin, and at 12 cents per kilowatt hour electricity rate, it would cost you $9.50 to run. So with a good residential rate, you can be mining Bitcoin in your home still and expect to pull $1,500 of Bitcoin over the next year if nothing changed. If you had a industrial rate of 6 cents per kilowatt hour, you'd be having a much better time mining. Again, obviously that what you mine doesn't change based on your electricity, right? That's your income, $13.55 expected, but your cost would go down to $4.75, allowing you to realize a profit of $8.79 comparatively. One thing you need to make sure you are aware of is the Bitcoin halving is in 1 year and 31 days, or projected to be that very so. So this means that the amount of Bitcoin mined per day will be cut in half. This is substantial because if nothing changed, your mining profitability would then just simply be sliced in half. The network continues to grow in hash rate. Many miners are really struggling to be profitable right now, even though Bitcoin has doubled in price in the last several months. Brains has a good breakdown here. So if you've got an S19, comparatively, you need 10 cents per kilowatt hour just to break even on this machine. Looking at the Bitcoin mining difficulty chart, we break it out over the last year. We are sitting at an all-time high in Bitcoin mining difficulty. It is more difficult than ever to mine some Bitcoins. And when you really start to zoom out, it starts to look even crazier. We go out even further and, well, look at that. About 3 years ago, we can see the last halving, which was really the only last substantial drop in mining difficulty as far as this parabolic chart is concerned. They said we were too late to Bitcoin mining back in 2017, but wow, what we would give to go back. Keep in mind though, the leading Bitcoin miner was the Antminer S9 back then. That thing was pulling like 13.5 terahash a second. Now most Bitcoin miners mine at over 100 terahash a second, which is the mining power, specifically for the SHA-256 mining algorithm, which would be the Bitcoin chain. Some good news though about Bitcoin mining is the fact that ordinals have gotten some traction, and they brought an additional $5.5 million of fees to the Bitcoin blockchain. And on the Bitcoin blockchain, all fees are paid back to the miners. So you get the block reward, or the new coins mined every block on the Bitcoin blockchain, and you also get the fees. It's not enough to keep all these mining farms going at 190 coins or $5.5 million, but it is the first and only notable thing that has ever increased Bitcoin mining profitability, especially with any sort of staying power and longevity.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to tell you about today's video sponsor, Bab. Bab is an all-inclusive financial app whose goal is to provide everyone with easy access to banking and financial services. Their app allows users to send and receive fiat, crypto, and stablecoins. They offer free internal transfers and minimal fees for external and international transfers. They also have plans to launch a debit card, hybrid accounts, and their own mainnet. Bab's app is available in 70 countries, and they say they're registered with the Financial Conduct Authority and have over 130,000 registered users. To learn more about Bab, check out the link in the video description below. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research.
In the last 24 hours, over $24 million of Bitcoin was mined or emitted. This is pretty average right now with this Bitcoin price, this difficulty, everything like that. So at this trajectory, we're going to see a consistent $20 million or more of Bitcoin mined per day. The next closest cryptocurrency in daily mining profitability would be Dogecoin at $1 million. Fun fact, back when Ethereum was still mineable, it was not only almost every day more profitable or more money emitted than Bitcoin, sometimes it was substantially higher. So Ethereum moving away from mining removes so much profitability from the mining ecosystem. So I'm mining my Bitcoin right now on Pegapool, who boasts to be the most profitable Bitcoin mining pool. I'm like, well, let's see about that. So I've got my miners on here. You can see my average hash rate per day where I ticked up from around 500 terahash a second to 580, 600 terahash a second. And that's when I added the Canaan Avalonminer 1346 here. Also notice that there was a difficulty correction by Bitcoin, which happens every 2 weeks, right? Really kind of at the start of this period. So let's crunch some numbers, right? So before that, I was pretty much mining about 0.0013 Bitcoin a day, or about $40 worth of Bitcoin. Now I'm mining about 0.00153 Bitcoin, or about $46 of Bitcoin. So there is a discrepancy here of how much more I was supposed to make and then how much more I'm actually making. One thing in particular though that you'll notice when I look at my miners is my actual hash rate that the pool is crediting me with my 1346 over the last 24 hours, and this has been consistent over the last several days, is about 91 terahash a second. And that's not 110. Pretty easy math. So what's going on? Well, I changed the mining rig to the normal mode, and I had to dig into the 1346 technical details documentation to get some information on the differences between their modes. This information should be much more clear and much more readily available. So, normal mode has a lower power consumption and hash rate compared with high performance mode. It's an older mining strategy. The new power mode is more flexible mining mode that offers more power and hash rate options. It's divided into two directions, one to reduce power consumption, the other to increase power consumption. And with that, you'll get more or less hash rate as you burn more or less kilowatts of electricity. It's not really all that clear. For me personally, I'm looking for the most efficient mining. My electricity rate right now, especially until I can get 3-phase out at my mining farm, and I'm a year away from that, I'm sitting at a not that great of an electricity rate of about 12 cents per kilowatt hour. My Bitcoin mining endeavor actually is treading water every single day right now. It's difficult to mine with this electricity rate. My end game is to deploy solar panels, produce my own electricity, and then I'll be golden. But I'm not there yet, so I'm just kind of running and gunning with the best I got. Some people have a lot of negative things to say about that strategy, but I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm mining on my own property as opposed to going somewhere obscure and in an industrial complex, and that's just not a route I ever wanted to go down. This has been a homegrown operation for me from the beginning, and I think it's pretty cool to turn a literal farming field, a field that was farmed, into a digital farm. That's like me in a nutshell. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. A lifelong endeavor for me, if you will, once I realized I had set out on this mission, and before I knew it, it was well underway. Logging into the device is pretty easy. You just need to grab the IP address, and it's better to do this on a computer, but you can even do it on a phone like I wanted to show you today. So I go into my router, I get the IP address, I punch that into my browser, and from there I just need to input the username and the password. So we punch in root, and from there we paste the mining pool information we want, the worker name. Passwords don't really matter anymore in this era. And then we can also choose our work mode, which I'm still trying to get clarity on what exactly are the differences between these. So for now, I'm gonna run with normal mode. I'm hoping and assuming it's the most efficient option, but yeah, if you know, I'd love for you to share the details down in the comments below. Other than that, I mean, that's all there really is to it. You know, you can upgrade firmware in here, you can do troubleshooting, but it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Most mining pools use a username setup, and then you put your wallet address and payout information in on the pool side. So this is my review on the Canaan Avalonminer 1346. I really wish there was more clear documentation. The shipping fee is very high on these miners if you're not in the US and you can't order from the US warehouse. The performance has been good. Keep in mind that if you want exposure to Canaan as a Bitcoin miner manufacturer and company, they also have their own stock. I'm not, pushing that or whatever, just something for you to be aware of. Bitcoin stocks, at least mining farms, right, have actually outpaced gains against Bitcoin since the start of this year. But don't ever count Orangecoin out, that's for sure. The miner's been fine. I mean, it's been chugging away. It's been good. I like that they've gone towards a style, and it's been this way for a while, where the controller is integrated with each miner as opposed to an external controller like that old 900 series I was talking about, or maybe it was an 841. It was actually the miner I had back then. Hey, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And as it stands, I'm happy to see multiple miner manufacturers still producing Bitcoin miners, creating competition. It's better for everybody. If anything, I just wish that there weren't so many major mining farms sucking up a bunch of miners and skyrocketing the freaking hash rate. If they could chill out so little guys like me and maybe you could do some more Bitcoin mining, well, I'd be all about that. So on that note, I'm gonna head out. But not first, before introducing our CBO, our Chief Bitcoin Officer, Tails Voss, the cutest pup in the world. 10 seconds of Tails on every video, because Tails is the gem of my life and jump-started this channel years ago. Back when we were in the same home where that early Canaan Avalonminer, I think 841 video was shot. And unfortunately she got sick then, pushed me out of my last job, which I didn't like anyway. And you know, I'm so thankful she made it through that and is happy, alive, and kicking these days. And yeah, so I'm gonna close it out. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't, please subscribe, support the channel. We're chasing 1 million subscribers. Ooh, we got a way to go.